Hi. Okay, so I saw all your comments on my last video. They got quite a lot of good feedback, so I thought we'd do this again tonight. It's 3:45 AM in the morning. So on today's video, I just want to give you guys a timeline of my life and everything I remember from the years. My headphones are on because my daughter's asleep and I don't like the silence. Soundproof, baby. So let's get started with each year and what I remember from that year specifically. In 1992, I was born, so I can't remember anything. I remember the colour brown. I think I remember being born, but people think I'm crazy. For real though, I was born and I was put into an incubator, which looks like this. Basically my mum and my blood mixed together, so I was in an incubator as a baby for like a week. So that's fun. In 1993, I lived with my two sisters and my mum and my dad in London. I can't remember anything, I have no memories, but my mum never used to clean my properly because she thought it was disgusting. This one time the nurse came around because I was ill and I was really sweaty and I had basically an infection because my mum didn't clean my parts properly. So thanks mum, she thought I was disgusting. She knew how to clean her daughters but not, she was kind of grossed out, she didn't me. So anyways, in 1994, I don't remember a lot, but my earliest memory I have is me sitting on a toilet with my sisters and we're all laughing. That's the earliest memory I have ever in existence. In 1995, when I was 3, I remember my dad used to give me these things called lucky bags, and it was the best time in the world, my friends. For Christmas that year, I got a Spider-Man with its own car that looked like this, and I actually lost that Spider-Man down the radiator under my mum's bed, and I could never find it. And I searched there every day for weeks. Could never find that Spider-Man figurine. My mum didn't know where it was either. In 1996, my mum and dad broke up. My mum and dad used to fight each other physically. It was really, really bad. I remember them fighting quite a lot. I remember clearly one day my mum was really, really crying and told us not to look into the windows into the living room, and my dad set her car on fire or something. My dad set another car on fire, so I'm kind of confused if it was the other car or my mum's car. But my dad did set my mum's car on fire. My mum loved that car. It looked like this, the old Volkswagen Golf, white, convertible. My mum got that car from saving her benefit money, which she wasn't entitled to, but she just paid it all back recently. It took her 25 years to pay back that loan. Thanks Dad. I asked my dad why I did it. He said he used to be very jealous of her. Wow. Anyways, in this same year I started reception, which is first year of school, and I remember just driving these around all the time. I love them things. I just loved driving that around. That was my whole reception thing. I don't have a lot of memories of my dad, but my second memory I have of my dad was I'm in his Toyota Supra, the Mark III. So his Supra looked like this. Oh, actually, guys, check this out. That was my dad's old Supra that he had. How cool is that? And that's my dad there working. He used to hide his Supra at work behind the bins because he didn't like other people knowing he had that car. He was a bit paranoid. My dad actually scrapped this car because he didn't like other people looking at it, so he scrapped it, which doesn't make sense. But hey ho, don't smoke. So we're out in his Supra one day, and I'm in the front seat on the left side, and I've got a fake steering wheel pretending to drive his car while he's driving, and he's smiling and he's laughing and he's just patting my head. I used to look really cute as well. I used to look like this. Please refrain from saying I look like Man Dark from Dexter. There is no comparison, it needs to. In 1997 we ended up living in a hostel for years. If you don't know what a hostel is, just one big room, and it was the best 3 years of my life. That was it. This is the same year that Pokemon came out. In this hostel there was about 30 other children, so every day after school we'd just all meet up in the hostel and just play Pokemon. Best time ever, think about it. I was 5 at this time, so yeah, it was a big deal. When Pokemon first came out, it was so huge. It got banned in schools. This was the same year that my dad got me a PS1, which was probably the best thing he ever did for me at the time. That PS1, I went on that PS1 every day for about 5 to 6 hours a day from the age of 5. Yes sirree, Crash Bandicoot was my best friend. Another memory I have of my dad which makes me really happy was he was playing this scary game called Tenchu, and he was killing this boss. I can actually show you the boss. It was this boss. So my dad's playing this game. Show it there what I'm talking. My dad's playing this game, and I was terrified, I was scared of the fake blood. My dad was just commentating, "Oh, watch me go out, watch me hack them up." And I was just so scared, but it was so cool at the same time. And that later became a part of me. That's kind of made me grow a score, but we'll get to that. In 1998, my mum started dating this old guy, which I remember, and he used to own this cafe, and he used to let us go down into like the basement and drink and eat all the food. And we used to drink these cartons of Ribena, and it was so good. And I remember that so clearly. So this old guy used to let my mum drive his really nice Mercedes, and this is the 90s, so if you had a Mercedes you were considered rich, and if you had a BMW you was also considered rich. This guy owned a Mercedes, and it was like one of these, and it was so fast. It was like a 3-litre. It's really powerful, and it's a rear-wheel drive. And I remember clearly one day it was icy, and we went around a roundabout, and the car spun out and kept going in circles, and I was in the middle, and I was laughing, and everyone was screaming. I found it so funny. Good times. In this same year, I fancied this girl in school. Her name was Kelly, and in the school playground, I used to pick head lice out of her hair. Don't know why, I just did, and she used to let me do it. Pretty gross and disgusting, I know, but I don't know why I did that, but I did that, and she used to like it. I'm so weird. In 1999 now, and this was the year that I stole Pokemon cards from Asda. I'm sorry, Asda, but I did that. I saw my 2 older sisters steal the Pokemon cards first. So I was like, hey, I want Pokemon cards. So yeah, but Asda was so stupid, they put Pokemon cards on their shelves, which was so bad because back in the day, they were always behind the counter with the cigarettes. In this same year, I remember clearly at school, there was this big indoor swimming pool, and I was scared of it. Yeah, I was just terrified of this big indoor swimming pool. The year 2000. Wow, this was the year that me and all my friends from the hostel went to watch the new Pokemon movie. I remember all of us were in a line, about 10 of us. But when Ash Ketchum turned to stone by Mewtwo and Mew, we all cried, and everybody in that line was the most saddest kid that day. I remember that clearly. I remember the New Year that year. I remember watching the New Year on television with my dad. It was at the Millennium Dome. The Millennium Dome is that. They renamed it not long after. This is the same year that my mum met her current partner, Andrew, and we all moved from London to Kent. I remember clearly we used to get a taxi to school, and we had a crash. Seriously. Another car went and smack bang into the back of us, and we all had to go to hospital. No serious injuries, but we missed school that day, which was pretty cool. I remember clearly that year in school we were watching Toy Story. Don't ask me why, but we were watching Toy Story, and I knew every word, and I was singing every word and saying it. And one of the teachers got angry with me and threw me out of class for that. In 2001, I'm now year 5, age 9, and I remember clearly I took all my Pokemon cards to school in black bags because I had so many. Seriously, I had like 4 black bags worth of Pokemon cards, all organised, energies in one, shinies in the other. And there was this girl that I really fancied called Shannon. She had blonde hair, and she hated me. But when I brought in my shinies, she was my best friend for about a week. And she offered to give me a kiss on the cheek for a shiny. And me, like an idiot, gave her about 50 shinies, which was all of my shinies. And pretty much after she got all my shinies, she pretty much didn't want to be my friend anymore, and we fell out. And so I asked her politely for my cards back, and she said no. So I learned a very valuable lesson that day. I also remember we went and watched Lord of the Rings as a school in year 5. When Lord of the Rings first came out, I had a teacher called Miss Vivian, and she was the best. Except that one time she yelled at me because I cut paper wrong. Seriously, we had a protractor, and I cut paper wrong, apparently. And she screamed at me in front of all the kids. And that was very traumatic, and I still remember that to this day. Guys, I swear I cut that paper right. In 2002, when I was year 6, I was very stupid. I wasn't talkative. I was a quiet kid. I was very shy. I had no brothers. I had help from other teachers because I couldn't read or write properly. So naturally, I got bullied quite hard. Yes, sirree. So I got bullied for being really quiet and being a teacher's pet. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't talk to my mum, I didn't talk to my dad. My dad wasn't there, my stepdad didn't like me, so I was a mute. I was quite like my daughter is. I was so scared of the world. The only thing I loved was my PS1. I played on my PS1 every day for about 7 hours a day. I played so much PS1 that my memory card was burnt from the inside out. In this same year, we went and watched The Two Towers. Lord of the Rings was amazing when it first came out. Still amazing now. This is the year that we went to Spain. My stepfather took us to Spain as a family. I think that was our first holiday and our last. And I nearly drowned. Seriously, I nearly died and drowned. And my mum jumped in the pool and saved me. You know how in Spain they have them swimming pools outside your house? Yeah. We were going to one of them parties where you do the conga. The conga? It's Spain. You know, family stuff. The family parties they have. Everyone's singing that song. Hey, hey, baby. Ooh. Ah. While my family was getting ready, I went outside and pretty much nearly drowned. In the pool. And I fell in the deep end. Still to this day, I'm scared of swimming. Yep, you won't be seeing me in the deep end. Still to this day, I have an anxiety of water. 2003, I started secondary school, which is the equivalent of high school for the Americans. And I had my first girlfriend. How got my first girlfriend? I chased her on my bicycle and I was spitting at her. I was 11. Go easy on me. She found it funny. We watched this really scary movie together called The Hollow Man. That was terrifying. I remember that. She was a really good girlfriend. Right until I started secondary school and all her friends made fun of me on the introduction day and they all pointed and laughed at me, and that made me feel really bad and that hurt. When I came into the school, we all did our CATS exams, which basically is a projection of what our results would be 5 years from now. And I was predicted A's and B's and maybe some C's because I was smart. All I knew was to study. At the same time, I had a revelation. What if I start this school and pretend to be loud and obnoxious and funny? Even though I'm not, I'm really shy and quiet. Why not just pretend to be loud? Why not? Then everyone will love me. Then I'll get the attention I've always wanted. And that's what I did, my friends. And that's how Grow School was born. Yes, sirree. 2004 now, year 8. I watched The Fast and Furious with my friend George, and I absolutely loved the Mark IV Toyota Supra. It's the same time I got a PS2. And I played Need for Speed Underground 1, Need for Speed Underground 2, and Need for Speed Most Wanted. Oh wow. They were the days. During this time in school, I was still very popular and still very liked by my class. I was a class clown. I used to do a lot of stupid things. I used to walk into the class and be like, "Hey miss, you got nice..." And she would just laugh and say, "Ali, get out now." And everyone laughed. I got away with anything and everything. I never got suspended. Actually, no, I did one time, but I'll get to that. I had plenty of girlfriends in year 7 and year 8. My nose was really normal. I remember clearly this girl that was 2 years higher than me coming up to me and just making out of me. That was pretty cool. I remember clearly sitting next to this girl called Nancy, and Nancy decided to set Tina's hair on fire right in front of me. And it was really bad. Tina had really long hair. Nancy was permanently suspended after that. But my point is, I remember that. I remember clearly having a Canadian teacher, and I was hiding under the table, making everyone laugh. And she called me the R word, and everyone went crazy. And the teacher started apologising, being apologetic. The funny thing is, I didn't know what the R word meant. And that teacher was really nice to me for the next 3 years. In 2005, when I was year 9, I had to pick my GCSEs. And instead of picking drama, I decided to pick dance. Because my friend Jamie told me, "Don't do drama. It's meant to be really hard. Pick dance instead." So me, like an idiot, did dance. It wasn't that bad. I got a C in it. Besides, I really fancied this girl called Lauren. She never wore makeup. She did sports and she used to sweat. She used to walk into the mathematics class and she used to be sweating. And I used to find it so cool because I never did sports. I used to fancy her so badly. I ended up talking to that girl every day on MSN Messenger and we spoke every day for months. And one day in maths class, keep in mind I've never spoke to her in school. I only spoke to her on the computer for months. But one day in class, she decided to talk to me in front of all of the students. And she said, "Ali, have you done your homework?" And I just went, "No." And everyone laughed because my voice broke. It cracked because I did not expect her to talk to me. That was really embarrassing. Anyways, it turns out she's a lesbian now. But my point is, it was real at the time. In 2006, I started a game that changed my life forever. The game was called Runescape. And I started making YouTube videos. And it was pretty awesome. I remember having a German teacher called Miss Willits. that used to play RuneScape. And I used to bully her. Seriously, I did. I used to pick on her. I used to call her names. I used to call her the S name because I was a kid. I could get away with it. And the truth is, I did it because I fancied her. Yes, sir. I was in love with that teacher. So I used to call her names. Don't know why. And she was really rich at RuneScape. She had a party hat. Remember, this is 2006. Party hats were like 15 mil. I used to be very jealous of her. I had a lot of hormones, a lot of testosterone. Sorry, Miss Willett, if you're watching, it wasn't me. At this point in school, no one really liked me. I went from being the funniest kid in year 7 and year 8. Come year 9 and year 10, everyone started to dislike me because my humour wasn't that funny and they just want to study. And I was no longer the cool person. Oh, and my nose got really, 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 really big. Seriously, my nose got big overnight. I remember clearly having an argument with my friend Aidan at the time, in front of all my friends. And he just pointed, laughed and said, "You've got a mint card nose." And everyone laughed and I didn't understand what was going on. Look, he's got the mint card nose, doesn't he, guys? This is what the mint card nose means. I got severely bullied for that. And so he called me mint card nose for the next 3 years, which sucked. 2007 was the last year I attended school. I remember being addicted to RuneScape and nothing else, and YouTube. RuneScape on YouTube is all I cared about. In my exams, in my final GCSEs, all I cared about was fletching. Yep, I remember clearly sitting there, like this, thinking about fletching willow logs. It was my thing. I just loved RuneScape. My family was living in a caravan at this point, the same caravan they're in to this day. I also decided in that year to make a video called Grow School Goes to School, which got about 300,000 views in a week. That was a lot back in the YouTube days. I came home after getting my results and I went onto computer that year and I thought I got really good results. And I showed my mum, "Hey mum, look, I got A's and B's." Wow, how wrong I was. That was just the example. I'm that much of an idiot. And then I checked the real results and I got D's, E's, F's and ungraded. And that was the most embarrassing time. That feeling I won't forget. Not long after that, I got kicked out by my stepdad. All I did was play RuneScape. All I did was make YouTube videos. There was no ad revenue back then. I got accepted into the partnership program on YouTube the early days. And I made £50 in one day. My parents didn't believe me because they thought it wasn't real because you couldn't make money on the internet. 2008, I lived with my granddad, which was an amazing year of my life. He taught me how to talk to people. And I went to college that year. I wasn't allowed to live in these old people's home, but I had no choice and he let me stay with him anyway. Oh. Besides, that was the year that I used to watch Babe Station, which was a really cool TV show that they showed every night. I remember playing Modern Warfare 2 on my laptop every night for months. That was fun. Throwing knives. Wow, that was fun. I studied business administration at college that year because I told the career manager that I really liked being on my PC. So that's what I did. I used to write letters and memos. That's what I did for a year at college, boys. I remember every Wednesday I used to get up and just tell stories to the class because we had a free period. And I used to just tell stories to make everyone laugh. And that went on for months. Every Wednesday, "Ali, get up, tell us stories." And I would just go like it was like a stand-up routine. In 2009, me and my granddad fell out when we went to the pub and he got drunk. The council gave me a free hostel to stay in, which was nice. I was 17 at the time. And it was, even though it was rough, it was pretty fun. It was home. There was a roof over my head. I lived with a bunch of people that were doing stuff, but it was a roof and I made it home. So that was nice. I had a friend called Dexter come live with me for a few months. He wasn't allowed to, but I risked it anyway. He took his life a few years later, but we had some really good memories. In that year, I started a different college course. I started performing arts, which was more up my alley. And I met this girl called Rachel. And she took my V card. Not straight away, I'm not a dog. I waited for like 3 weeks. At this time, I'm still Grow School. I made a video of me going to college and I just enjoyed life with my friends and my girlfriend. And I just enjoyed college at this time. In 2010, I met another girl at college. So what I did was I broke up with Rachel to get with this other girl. And then I didn't like the other girl, so I got back to Rachel. But then I missed the other girl, so I broke up with Rachel and got back with the other girl. And then one final time, I broke up with the other girl and got back with Rachel. I know it sounds really bad, but they were doing the same thing with other guys, so everyone was kind of sharing. I remember watching this really cool show that year called Misfits. Awesome. It was about a bunch of young people that just had loads of superpowers. Really cool. It's on Netflix right now. Go give it a watch. Also in that year, they released Pokemon Soul Silver. You had these little things you carried around your pocket. You trace your steps and you'd get XP. It's really fun. Like Pokemon Go, but just more garbage. In 2011, in my last year of college, there was this girl that I used to fancy called Margaret. She was 19, I was 20. Her name is Margaret and she's 19, I don't know. And I used to call her names because I used to fancy her. She actually decided to get two men to beat me up after college one day. As I was leaving, they were standing there, very intimidating, very tall, very scary. And I cried, and I cried, and I ran inside, and I cried to my teacher. And my teacher, who was like 5 foot, backed me up and cheered me up and told them to go away. So I learnt my lesson that day, not to be a meanie to women and call women bad names. At this time, in this same year, I was addicted to a game called League of Legends. Season 2, League of Legends, best time ever. I also was playing a game called World of Warcraft in Cataclysm. I made a guild called The Unwanted, and I loved it. I used to love raiding. Firelands, oof. In 2012, I left college, and then all the bills started adding up, and I started getting bills, and I couldn't pay these bills. Oh no. So I applied to get a job and office. I was still addicted to League of Legends, and in that same year, my mum got me PAX Twisted Fate, so that was nice. In 2013, I wanted to be a live streamer. I used to watch this guy called Ocelot on OWN TV. OWN TV was awesome. It was before Twitch, but I couldn't stream because my internet was so bad. Seriously, I had like a 0.5 upload speed, so I couldn't stream League of Legends. But then Jagex decided to release old school Runescape, which I could stream. So I did, just because I wanted to talk to people and tell stories. And then one guy on that same day sent me £1,000. I had no money in my bank account. Me and Rachel used to eat cold beans and bread, and that's what our dinner would be because I had no money. So when someone sent me £1,000, I started crying live on stream back in 2013. And in that week alone, I think I saved up about £4,000. And I went and rented a place with my girlfriend at the time because why are we living in this horrible council flat? I cried on stream, and after I moved out into the new place, me and Rachel broke up. I pretty much met this girl in World of Warcraft, but she made me break up with Rachel. But in 2014, I met a girl called Shannon. Loved her to pieces. I started streaming League of Legends because my friend Nightblue3, Rabia, he convinced me to because it was more of a wise idea because Runescape was kind of going down and League was going up. The guy's a really big shot now. He's got millions of followers, but back then he was just a friend. No one knew him. He had no followers. So me and Shannon dated for a year. That was really nice. But she loved to party and she loved having my fans come down. We'd just have parties every weekend. And I never took streaming seriously. I did it as like a little hobby. I might stream today, I might not. I might do an hour or two, I might not. I did it to kind of get by. This is the same year that I first got drunk. Seriously, I didn't get drunk until my 20s. How crazy. I used to have an open house that any of my fans could just turn up and walk in. It was awesome. I used to live in this little flat. It was in a basement flat. It was really mouldy, but at the same time, it was really cool. Anyways, Shannon decided to leave me for one of my fans. So that broke me. But at the same time, I'm not mad because they lasted like 5 years. So good to them. In 2015, I was so hurt and upset and just I had nothing. So I just streamed every day. And after about 3 months of streaming every day, I blew up. I became really, really famous on Twitch, which was really nice. And in that year alone, from March to December, I made over £103,000. Seriously, I accidentally linked my own donation amount. So everyone would spam 103, 103, 103. So that was fun. That's when my Twisted Fate got recognised, and a lot of people would say that was the prime of growth score, 2015 to 2016. Ooh la la. I remember clearly this one time I was streaming and someone decided to send a certain someone to my address.
Hold up.
So no, Harley, come right in. Take a seat. Relax. I'm not rushing you. Right.
What are you doing?
I want to know. Wait, Harley, I don't know what's going on. Someone called a to my house. Someone called a to my house.
Thanks, guys. In 2016, I would average 9,000 to 10,000 viewers, and when I was on my promo games, I'd get between 20 and 30,000 views, which was really cool. But then April 20th came along, and I got permanently banned on Twitch. First time ban, permanently banned. Yes, sirree. Naughty boy, I was. That was the worst year of my life. 100%. It's the start of one of the worst years of my life. Not long after my ban, I just occupied myself and spent my money. I got a nose job in that year, so that was that. And I learned to drive. I bought my first car, my Mark IV Toyota Supra, which luckily I still have, so that's nice. In 2017, me and Rachel met up again, and we conceived a child. We didn't plan to, but we did. Things just happened, and she fell pregnant. And in that same year, Twitch decided to give me another shot because there was There was this one really nice guy that was convinced that I could come back being better and normal. I guess I let him down in the end, but it was nice to be back. In the same year, my daughter was born, December the 18th of that year, so that was nice. That was the scariest day ever, seriously. It was a scary day, hearing my ex scream like that. It was horrible. In 2018, this was the worst year of my life. I got extremely overweight. I was just really overweight because when my girlfriend was pregnant at the time, she ate a lot of food, the cravings, and I ate a lot. I didn't scream a lot either. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I didn't really want to be in that position. I didn't really want to be with her. The whole plan wasn't to be with her. Things fell into place. She fell pregnant, and then I couldn't leave her, so I forced myself to stay with her. So I was in a dark place, and that's my advice to you guys today. Don't stay with someone because you have to, but stay with someone because you want to. In that time, I would eat a lot, and I didn't stream. And a lot of people disrespected me because I went from something to nothing, and I had a lot of anxiety. And it was the worst year of my life, no doubt. As some money, I was lucky enough to invest into some cryptocurrency, so that got me by for a whole year, which was nice. I did crave attention from time to time, so I'd make these stupid rant videos on Twitter. Like this one time I called out Ninja, and it got like millions of views. In 2019, I realised that I was really overweight because I went to Florida with my family, and my mum posted a picture of me on Twitter, and all these people on Twitter were saying I had a fat dad body. And then I went to the toilet and I looked down and I couldn't see it. My belly was in the way, I couldn't see it. So that's when I realised I had a problem. I had to start losing weight. In the same year I streamed in an office, if you guys remember. And it's the same year that I used to appear on the Raj Patel show. And I used to argue with this guy called Slicker all the time. In that same year, later on, I then went to Germany, TwitchCon, which was amazing. And I broke up with my girlfriend in a nightclub when I was drunk because of liquid courage. But then in 2020, she decided to leave me because she stayed with me for a year and we were good friends. But at the start of 2020, she left me. She's still the same guy, which I'm happy. When she left me, we decided to go 50-50 on the custody of our daughter, and it's still the same. I have it for a week and she has it for a week, and it's been like that for over a year and a half now. In this same year, I was playing Runescape and I lost a bet with my viewers, so I had to dye my hair blonde as a joke. And since then, I've loved dyeing my hair blonde. I gotta get it re-dyed, but it's funny how life works. I started working out in this year because I called out KSI for a boxing fight on Twitter, didn't I? Yes sir, I did. And he accepted it. So I started losing weight and getting ripped. And then after a few months I called it all off because I was too scared. Should have took that fight, right boys? At the end of 2020 I started the cooking streams, which a lot of people remember. Good times boys, good times. Made quite a lot of money. Bought a Jaguar, that was nice. At the start of 2021 Twitch came out and they were like, hey, we're releasing new rules that you can't be toxic anymore, and if you have a toxic community, we're going to have you off. So I decided to pack in, grow score, and just be nice. And with doing so, we blew the heck up in January and February and March, and we were becoming so big. Hit over 500,000 followers, 2,000 followers per day, 10,000 live viewers with no host. Pretty much towards the last, in March, it was just this, it was going up so scarily quick. And then with that fame came a lot of jealousy, a lot of people bringing up stuff since the age of 13, and it all just came out all over Reddit and people just rebelled and we got thrown off the platform. Shortly after that, I just spent the whole year drinking and going out and drinking and spending all my money. I would spend hundreds of pounds in bars and nightclubs on people I don't know because it made me feel good. I drank so much this year that I had an anxiety/panic attack in Brighton about 3 months ago, and it was the most terrifying experience I've ever had in my life. Went to a nightclub a couple of months later and I met this girl, and since the day we met we've been inseparable ever since. And I met her and it was the first time this year something good's happened, and now we're each other's. We have promise rings, which are pre-engagement rings. I call her my fiance. And now, where I stand, I want to become a full-time YouTuber. So I'm trying to vlog every day, make videos every day. And that's where we're at. that is pretty much it. You're all caught up. So thanks for watching. But before I go, I always read the top rated comments from the previous vlog. So leave a comment today and I might read you out on tomorrow's vlog. This one comes in, Want Burger Sauce Mate, who says, why don't you want Ellie to go to a special needs school? They will have people there who are specially trained to deal with disabilities, and there will be other children there similar to Ellie. Good on Rachel for doing the right thing and finding her a new nursery as well. Yeah, my nursery, not that this is anything to do with what you said, but I just want my daughter to go to a normal school. But if she has to go to a one for special needs children, then so be it. But yeah, but my daughter, for the people asking, my daughter's nursery got closed down because one of the children there choked to death, and the whole school just today Ofsted got involved and said it's closed down, which is really sad because all the staff that I knew there were really lovely and amazing. And obviously it's no one's fault, and condolences to the parents. I mean, I couldn't imagine that, but that's what happened. For the people out there asking, that's why my daughter hasn't been to nursery in like 4 or 5 weeks. This one comes in from Aya Baka, who says, the thing that annoys me about his attitude is that he expects above average growth while providing below average content. You barely put any effort into your vlogs. You haven't shown any innovation or any drive to do something remotely entertaining. You wake up super late and start recording your vlog at like 2 PM. You don't show anything interesting. You don't listen to your viewers' suggestions for content. You just blame your viewers and people not liking you, and you associate that with why you're not blowing up. I also find it hilarious that you compare yourself to Tyler One to Respect, and they say they are where they are because they act as themselves. You completely overlook the fact that both those streamers provide 10 out of 10 content, put a ton of work into their work, and bring innovative ideas to the space. Doc has such an entertaining persona and epic graphics. Tyler One is always doing entertaining things like his power meets or crazy League of Legends challenges. Stop blaming others for your lack of success and start working harder. Damn, that hit hard. Xlander says, Ali's qualifications for being great at boxing. He's got a six-pack. YouTubers have spun on him. His mum whacked him as a kid. He's basically Rocky. Shut up. This comes in from Swaggy McDaddy, who says, things Ali's willing to do to get money. Get beaten up. Get insulted by TTS on Twitch. Sell the Supra. Things he's not willing to do for money. Stop wasting money. Hey, money comes in. Hey, money's made. Hey, money is here. Whatever. The last comment comes in from this person called RBIXD, who says, boxing won't work. Your trainer will give you tips on how to improve and you'll end up calling him a troll and claim he's a jobless drug addict. 712 up thumbs. What the heck is that comment? Okay. Guys, it's the end of the video. I know it's really long, but just fancy doing it. I try and get up earlier. It's 20 to 5. I try and get up earlier to vlog. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you're new, please subscribe. If you like these vlogs, please hit the bell notification. You'll get a notification on your phone when I make a video tomorrow. Sorry, I've been a bit depressed recently. See you guys in the next one.